Hey everyone, welcome back to another production meeting. Gang's all here today. 2 weeks without Matt. He's here. Yay!
At night.
Yeah, man. All it took was to convince y'all to do it at 12 a.m. and at night as opposed to 9 a.m. in the morning. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And now that I've said that, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good night.
Stay. What did everybody do this week?
Well, technically, it's been 2 weeks since we've met.
Yeah, that's right.
So what have I done? Nothing. I played the Uncharted Remastered collection. So what is it? Legacy of Thieves. It's dope. I'm glad I just stuck with the $10 thing though, because $50 would have been, cool if you were just getting the art or anything. I guess it's not actually that cool. But $10 is fine because the updates, it's fine. That just shows how well this game was made on the PS4. Like, I'm really not seeing much of a difference. It's just nice playing through it again. So I've been doing that, almost finished that, and then I watched finally Sing 2 with Ashley. That was cute. A little bit better than the first one. Still, these movies aren't doing much for me. It's fine.
I know
it's for kids.
You say finally, like this is like what you've been waiting for.
He's been waiting for the perfect opportunity to watch Sing 2, which I might add, I think it's made like $130 million.
Yeah.
So it was holding on the top 5 spot forever.
So wow. Spoiler alert, guys, we're probably going to get a Sing 3 in about 3 or 4 years.
Oh, so. Yeah, easily. Yeah, it obviously it's not for me. It's meant for the family and kids and everything. So it's like, whatevs. But and then what else did we do?
Alex, you hate families. What else do you hate?
Wait.
Can I say a really quick hot take though? Like, I've seen Sing 2 as well, and it's not a bad film. It's not a bad film as far as as far as animated features go. In fact, I might even say it's better than the first one.
Oh so, yeah, I've been saying that here. I'm definitely I agree with that. But yeah, I did that. And then what? I watched The Homework, and who knows what that is here today.
We don't have homework anymore. We just have independent study.
That's yeah. So my independent study was Moonfall, and we'll get to that more later. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. Yeah, yeah. But that's what I did.
Cool.
I haven't been here for about a month or so, but I'm trying to think. The only thing that I've really watched that I will say is amazing is I bought the Ghostbusters Definitive Collection, which if I had planned more properly, I would have it here and be like, hey, look, check it out. It's got a cool little light in it. Yay. But it's got like all sorts of versions of the first movie, and it's got all sorts of like deleted scenes and commentaries, and it's pretty dope. Like, I literally have spent the first 3 days I had it, I went through like everything on there. And it even has a digital code for Ghostbusters Answer the Call. So if you don't own that on digital, there you go.
I unfortunately do. That was one of the free 5 movies that I got when I first signed up my Vudu. It's like that and Big Hero 6 and
is that what it's like? It's official rebranding.
Answer the Call. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. They added that on there like as soon as they were getting backlash from it. So they're like, oh, we should probably give this a subtitle so that we can differentiate it from.
I guess I don't own it, so I haven't had the luxury of looking at it.
As far as games go, thanks to Alex, I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not a long game, but I'm a slow player, so I'm getting there. I got like 2 chapters left, and it's really fun. I don't know if there's replayability there, but it's very entertaining for the first run through, and I highly recommend it if you are a Guardians of the Galaxy fan.
Cool.
All right, Ryan, now for you to jog Matt's brain.
I didn't do a whole lot, actually. It's been a busy couple weeks, so I've been trying to keep it light, meaning I've been playing Horizon.
Yay!
So, high five.
Thank you. I am making such progress that I gained like 6% of progress in the last week.
I was about to say, did you just turn it on easy in story mode and just like blowing through the whole thing?
I have it on whatever the second 2-story mode is. It's a difficult game, so I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
I don't play games for the challenge of it. I play games because I enjoy playing games. So I have no shame in saying I don't have it on hard or anything. But it's still a lot to get through, and I'm enjoying it. I'm just kind of, I don't need to talk about Horizon. I've got lots of things to talk about.
Just waiting for him to unroll the scroll right here.
No, it's not long. Not long. I've been watching more of Blade Runner Black Lotus, but I'll finish that and talk about it when it's over. I kind of forgot about it over break, so I've been trying to get back into it. Watch the homework. I watched the first 6 episodes of The Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime, which is, in a nutshell, Invincible, but like an RPG fantasy. And it was made by the Critical Role team. It's pretty fun. It's not quite as like gritty and intense and trying to be super groundbreaking for the genre as Invincible is, which I'm actually enjoying. It's nice and refreshing because that was something that was a whiplash watching Invincible. So this is a little more close to comfort for what I enjoy in fantasy. So I would all these things keep popping up in the corner and I'm trying to close them and that one just pulled me away. But I would recommend that. I'm enjoying it so far. I watched The Tiger Rising.
Oh, yeah, he just jogged my brain. I watched half of that.
Yeah.
And you just jogged my brain. I decided I did not care to see that.
No, and nobody should. It's very, very bad.
My brain is jogged now. I don't even know what that is.
Is this wait, doesn't this have Queen Latifah in it?
Yes.
For a couple scenes. She doesn't really contribute much towards the film.
Yet she's on the poster.
Yep, and so is Dennis Quaid, and probably one that's going to be the worst performance of the year, or at least one of them. He won't be 8-time Razzie nominee Bruce Willis, apparently. I'll get back to that. But anyway, Tiger Rising, if you haven't heard of it, you don't need to see it. If you didn't see it, because nobody saw it, you don't need to see it.
Oh, spoiler alert, apparently the tiger dies.
Yeah. There's no point to it. I didn't really get a point to it. And I finished Book of Boba Fett. So I don't really feel like talking about it.
We call that Mandalorian Season 3.
I call it the Book of Disappointment. It's not terrible.
Mando's Season 2.5.
Yeah.
There we go.
Give me 2 weeks and the files, and I will make a better show out of that.
You just cut out the first 4 episodes.
I'll just restructure the whole thing.
There you go. They kind of, we're gonna segue into this. They kind of like forced
Yeah, we are.
Boba Fett onto you. Like they didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
They could have just added him in there slowly and less of, and it would have still been a better, shorter story.
Yeah. We've been rewatching Game of Thrones for House of the Dragon, and I've been thinking about how well that show, even when it gets really messy near the end, how well that show balances massive story arcs that don't cross over for maybe up until season 5 and don't necessarily need to at all. And I'm like, why isn't Star Wars doing this? We could be doing this with Mandalorian season 2 and season 3 and call it something Tales from the Outer Rim and have all these things going on and introduce Boba Fett in chronological order and have more time. They obviously want more time for these things to breathe and just not, and I won't spoil anything, but like there's things that were introduced that we spent no time with, that we shouldn't have spent any time with. And now I feel like I haven't spent enough time with it. So.
Okay. Here is going to be my rant. There's the show. Okay. As I said 2 weeks ago, the first 4 episodes were like, hey, you want to see this? No, I don't. Like, I don't care enough. Like, it's kind of implied in other seasons of other things. Okay. And then you get to see that episode, 5? And you're like, oh, this is kind of
is it the first 3 and then the Mandalorian is the 4th one?
No, it's first 4. 5.
Okay.
Oh, no, I haven't watched any of it.
So there's 7 episodes. 5 and 6 were not even with Boba Fett. He made a cameo appearance in the last, 6th episode. And then that was that. So my question is, are there other planets in the Star Wars system? There are other planets, right? No. Okay.
Actually, so, Jakku is the bottom half of Tatooine.
I'm thinking that's true. Because we spend a lot on Tatooine for some reason. Because
they've only got that one sound stage that they have that one setup. They don't have any money to do anything else.
Well, can't we repaint some rocks or something? Like this is, there's other planets in this system that we can see, and we see green in like the 5th or 6th episode, and we're like, cool. And then you introduce like Luke and Ahsoka and like cameo like Overload, and it's like, why did we need this episode? We kind of know what happens with Grogu, because I mean he says it like, well, do you want to be like the first student in Luke Skywalker's new Jedi? No, that was Ben. We know that with the other episodes. Like, so like leaving this cliffhanger was
More
just
episodes?
like, yeah, I don't know. We didn't need Luke. We didn't need any of this. Like that whole 6th episode was just kind of like a waste. Like you said, Matt, like the 5th episode was like season 2.5 just to see where he goes. And that was kind of pointless because you just added to the season Mandalorian season 3. Why can't we have a Boba Fett show without him running around Tatooine? That's
Because
what
he's
I
old.
wanted.
He's too old,
Apparently.
man.
Apparently. And then he wants like everybody to like, he wants to be like the kingdom of Tatooine. No, it's a desert planet. Like everybody leaves this planet. Leave. Everybody else does. It's just,
Yeah.
and this last episode was just okay.
I will say this. I know you were sitting there going, why do we need this? Why are they doing this? I mean, they turned that fan service up though to like 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say that I watched the last episode this morning, last night. And I can't say that I didn't geek out a lot during that last like fight scene. Like, it's like they were playing like Dungeons and Dragons, and they're like, what would they do now? What would they do now? What would they do now? And I'm like, oh, wow, we're exhausting all options that I had completely forgotten about. Did they work? No. But it was fun to see.
I do wish, though, that the time building up to, like, I think some of this fan service can work really well if they spend any time building up to it. And there's some great moments in the finale that feel very undeserved.
Yeah.
Which, again, might just be because I'm rewatching Thrones right now, and I'm like, oh man, they make you wait 5 seasons for this payoff, and this is like 7 episodes in, you're gonna get this payoff.
Or they introduce a character and you're like, wow, this is amazing, I can't believe they put him in the show.
I don't want to talk about that.
And then
I really don't want to talk about it.
What?
I really don't want to talk about Disney's bringing people back into shows and then just not featuring them anymore.
Look, this is what I wanted. I didn't want Robert Rodriguez Boba Fett / Spy Kids. I wanted Robert Rodriguez Boba Fett / like Desperado or like Sin City. Like, I didn't like have him like I don't know.
This is Disney, man. You're getting Spy Kids. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, you're actually getting shorts.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, I think I'm done. Ryan, are you...
trailer this Sunday.
Oh, thank you to whoever that executive was that dropped the date. They're like, oh crap. I guess they dropped the date. Let's just go ahead and release the poster. Might as well. All right. Ryan, I'm sorry. Were you done?
Oh yeah. I mean, I could talk about Oscars and Razzies, but other than the stuff I watched, I'm done. Or when it comes to the stuff I watched, I'm done.
Okay. I finished Titans season 3. I just kind of like wrapped that up. I got around to the 355, which was very generic, very formulaic. I can't even pronounce that.
It's late.
Very by the numbers. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. I watched the first 3 episodes of Pam and Tommy. Which, if you guys don't know what this is, it's the release of their explicit video of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. Sebastian Stan and Lily James do an amazing job. Even Seth Rogen. It's a very interesting show to kind of watch. If you're interested in like what happened, like what really happened during that whole time period, I'd give it a watch, if nothing else, for at least the 2 leads. They're really good. And the After Party. I watched like the first 4 episodes of the After Party, which is on Apple Plus. It's with Tiffany Haddish and Vince Schwartz and Sam Richardson and Dave Franco, and it's about a group of people that get together at their 15-year school reunion. And Dave Franco plays this like Justin Bieber-esque person, and this happens like in the first episode. So he dies, but it's like how they all kind of like figure out how he died, or who murders him. And each episode is like in a different genre. So like the first episode is like this romantic comedy where you follow Sam Richardson. And then there's like a musical episode, and then there's this like psychological thriller episode. So it's actually really good. It's kind of interesting to see where they're going to go with this. So I'll let you know. And speaking of games, I actually played a lot of Valhalla recently, last couple days, because the new DLC is coming out in March.
Well, is it even DLC anymore? Because it's like its own thing, isn't it?
No, the one that's going to be released in March is Dawn of Ragnarok. So that's going to be a part of Valhalla. The one that we're going to talk about, well, it's now the news then. New Assassin's Creed game is going to go back to its roots with the stealth mode, and it's going to follow one of the assassins that is introduced in Valhalla. They were going to put it as like a DLC for Valhalla, but I guess they said that this is getting bigger, and so they just wanted to make it its own game. So
more assassins.
Yes, and I would really like the anime to be released any day now.
Yeah. No, it won't.
Oh well. So we do have some Nintendo Direct news. Alex, if you want to hit some points on that.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the video, and I'd asked if you had seen any bits of it, and I will agree with you. It's like, unless you're a super fan of any individual IP, it's really kind of like there's little to offer. Like, unless it's up until that one little nugget, like, oh man, I'm really into Splatoon, or oh man, I'm really into Kirby. But I'll just rapid fire what was announced. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I don't know if it had been announced previously, but it says that it is coming out in September of this year. That's one of those I'm not really into. So, I mean, I know a lot of people who were excited about this. So, yay. Splatoon 3, I know that to be really, really popular. I just haven't ever gotten into it. This one's coming out in the summer. Specifically, I don't think it has a specific date, just that general window of the summer. So could be May, maybe, could be August, who knows. One of the bigger things that was announced is a Wii Sports sequel. The individual sports, I don't know. I think it looks like apparently has volleyball, I guess some soccer, tennis, I guess, might be coming back. I'm not sure. Just a general sequel coming for Nintendo Switch, so that's cool. I'm down for it. This one was the one that I took one of two. Mario Strikers Battle League. It's basically the next Mario soccer game. These Mario soccer games are awesome. They're simple in their nature. Their general core mechanic is just pretty basic, but it's really fun. And if this is anything like its previous versions, which it looks very much. I watched the trailer for this one. It looks a lot like the old ones, just with a new coat of paint. It's cool. It's coming out June 10th, so actually right in time for my birthday. So yay. No Man's Sky says it's coming to Switch, so that's cool, great. Fire Emblem Warriors got announced. It's called Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. don't know anything about Fire Emblem. That's coming out in June. Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot, yay, set for April. Something with Kirby. I'm because I don't understand it. I'm really not gonna. I don't know if this is a game or if it's just a new mode for something or whatever. Skip over that. Oh, Mario Kart 8, the deluxe version, is getting some new carts and courses DLC that'll continue all the way through until the end of 2023. So I think overall we're gonna get like 48 new courses, and there's gonna be a couple other things added to it. I think like old items and old carts, old types of playing styles. However, so that was pretty cool. I mean, I'll probably be getting that expansion. And then Metroid Dread is getting some type of a free update, I guess, where I think I saw this where it's basically just adding like a super hard difficulty mode where basically it's like a one-hit kill throughout the entire playthrough. So and I think that's about it. Yeah, like I said, there's really only one or two things that I really liked from that. The other ones I really don't care about. So I mean, there's always something for somebody in there. It's kind of hard to say that everybody that somebody would just love everything from that. So overall, I think it's a little bit better, if I remember correctly, the last Nintendo Direct, which was kind of meh. But yeah, so that summarizes that.
Cool. Okay, so the rest of this news is going to be very Disney heavy. Actually, the rest of this list is Disney stuff. So, X-Men 97, the new animated series, apparently is going to be dropping in 2023, and will pick up after the original series. I hope that they're going to do this like What If, where they start to integrate some of these animated characters into live action, because I want the X-Men. So, you guys ever watch the original series?
I have in parts, and I will say, like, I'm not totally an X-Men person, but I think that this is good. Like, that's easily the best version I think that I can recall. Like, I remember watching that before school, definitely on the weekends, and I was just like, this is a solid show, even if you're not really into it. I know my wife is, so she would definitely be into this. I think a lot of people are excited about that.
Yeah. Cool. So Obi-Wan is going to be re-released on May 25th of this year. They dropped a poster. Y'all see the poster?
I did.
Promo poster. What'd y'all think?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's a poster.
Yay.
I mean, it's a teaser.
Yeah, I think there's some definite intention behind this marketing strategy of just not giving us
anything,
a lot, and we're just talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we can all be let down when we have these grandiose ideas of what's going to happen, and then none of it does.
Matt, go away.
And here's Grogu. Wait, how did he get in this show?
You're probably not wrong.
I know.
Yeah, he's gonna make his way into. They're gonna spaghetti this all over. Everybody's gonna be
Obi-Wan's actually a prequel to The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're on Tatooine, by the way.
That's true. I'm so sick of this planet.
There are other planets. I've seen them. I know they're out there.
They're too expensive.
Too expensive. Paint some rocks. I don't care.
All we need is sand and sunlight for this. They've got that.
And apparently Grogu. So anyway. Okay, so Futurama is coming back to Hulu. Yay. I guess.
Yay.
Yeah,
I don't.
When I posted this, I'm exactly thinking what I did then, and I'm just like, I'm kind of like, how long has it been since the latest episode aired, and why are we bringing this back? But at the same time, I'm like, sure, I'd watch it.
Are the episodes like somewhere? Where are they streaming somewhere?
Probably already on Hulu.
Wait, are
Think
the
so?
old episodes?
Yeah.
They used to be on Netflix. I think they're on Hulu now.
Mhm.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, which would make sense because I think these new episodes are supposed to be on Hulu, right?
Yes.
Yes.
These are going to be dropped on Hulu. They haven't given a release date. They said that most of the cast is coming back. I would imagine Katie Seagal is coming back, and they said Billy somebody. I can't remember what his last name was. Yes, they said most of the cast is coming back. Cool. I guess.
Yeah.
Early. Yeah, I was never really a fan to begin with. So, new Lightyear poster and trailer. You guys check this out. Oh, Ryan's excited about this.
Yeah, Ryan.
I hate how good this looks.
Yeah, see, I'm not the only one.
No, it looks good.
Wait, are we talking, Ryan? Are you saying trailer, poster, or
Trailer
both?
poster, yes, everything. I
Okay.
mean, gosh, I'm excited. I don't want to be, but it's like I've never been overly. I mean, I love the Toy Story movies as much as anybody, but I've never been overly nostalgic for them. I don't
Mm.
toss them on when I feel like watching a Pixar film usually. And then just watching this, like some part of me just ripped out my core nostalgia from the second film, just shoved it right back in my face, and now I can't wait for this movie.
Yeah. That
Oh,
sounds
Ryan's
really-
gonna be showing up in his wings and helmet to the premiere.
Plus, he's got Goose. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like Ryan. I don't know if any of you guys remember the cartoon. I think they called it Star Command.
Mm-hmm.
Something Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to watch that. It kind of makes me think of that too. So it's hitting the nostalgia factor hard. I mean, they know what they're doing here. But I'm like Ryan. I think the poster looks awesome. The trailer, it's pretty much just a twist on what we've already gotten. It's solid. It's solid. I'm already excited about this anyway.
so this whole Star Command, is that like the same feeling you guys get when we talk about Silverhawks?
There you go. I mean, I can't speak for Ryan. But for
I have
me,
a feeling their reaction to seeing this Buzz Lightyear movie is going to be the complete opposite of what we had to react to when we see the Silverhawks thing when it shows up. Finally, we're going to be like, "What?"
See, I was going to avoid
Oh.
this discussion by not talking about how I watched X-Men Evolution instead of the original show, but now we're into the same
Boo.
discussion with a different show.
Boo.
Hey, you got your Dark Phoenix story, and I got the Pest Apocalypse story.
oh, Dark
true.
Phoenix. Ugh.
That's an animated series. They did that right. Okay, so next up we're gonna talk some Oscars. Just gonna go over some the quick ones, like top 5 ones. So Best Picture actually has some surprises on here. Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, and Power of the Dog. I'm kind of shocked that like Coda was on here because that's kind of a small film that was put on the Apple Plus. Don't Look Up. I've heard that this is a very divisive like movie. That seems like it.
I thought it was good.
I did not.
I have not seen it.
Here we go. So I mean, Dune obviously is great on your. Power of the Dog is on Belfast. I've heard was really good. But yeah, those two. Nightmare Alley. I literally just got done watching that. I think it's Best Picture nomination. I'm not thinking this is winning at all. So director is Kenneth Branagh. I'm not even going to try and butcher this poor guy's name. He's the director of Drive My Car. Paul Thomas Anderson, Jane Campion, and Steven Spielberg. Kind of surprises me that Denis Villeneuve is not on here for Dune.
Really?
Yeah, that kind of shocks me. Sorry, I'm going through windows here. Actor would be Javier Bardem, Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Garfield for Tick Tick Boom, Will Smith, and Denzel Washington.
Ooh.
Who are you booing?
Will Smith.
Oh,
Will Smith.
here's. I'll get it. We'll dive into it.
All right. No real shockers there. I kind of figured that these 5 were probably going to be. Well, Javier Bardem kind of shocks me, but the other ones don't really shock me very much. Jessica Chastain, Best Actress, Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, Nicole Kidman, and Kristen Stewart. I think Kristen Stewart's going to walk away with this.
You didn't say Frances McDormand.
Thank goodness.
There's a reason. Shameless plug. Spencer is actually on Hulu now. If you guys want to watch it on Hulu, so best supporting
Nightmare
actor.
Alley.
Yes, and HBO. That's where I watched it. It's HBO. Best supporting actor is Kieran Hans, Troy Koster, Jesse Plemons, J.K. Simmons, and Cody Smith McPhee. Troy Koster, I guess, is the first deaf man to get an Oscar nomination. Good for him. Best supporting actress is Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Andrea DeBose, Judi Dench, Kirsten Dunst, and Awana Ellis for King Richard. And best animated is Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya the Last Dragon. Any surprises for you guys on there?
Ryan, please, you are the most knowledgeable.
I've got notes ready. Oh, you can't see it, just a graph. But it's okay. I've already written my whole Oscar rundown, so I'll just burn through these really quickly. In order. Okay. In the order that I found them anyway. And I'm going to go through a couple minor categories too, but I won't talk about all the nominees. I'll just talk about my bullet points of Don't Look Up had way too many nominations. Denis Villeneuve not nominated for Best Director is a bummer. I get it because Drive My Car snuck in there with 4 nominations, and I'm really happy for it. It's still kind of a bummer not to see him nominated for directing. But again, Drive My Car is awesome. Kristen Stewart, I'm really glad she got in. I was really worried for a little bit she wasn't, because she kind of that movie really lost steam, and that was the film's only nomination, which I think it got snubbed for cinematography. Actor category is fine. I think Javier Bardem could have been replaced with Nick Cage for Pig, or apparently Peter Dinklage from Cyrano, even though that film's not out yet. Jesse Plemons getting in there was really awesome. I'm surprised to see him up there in a good way. No nominations for Last Night in Soho in any category. So not costume design, not sound, not editing. A couple other nice ones. No French Dispatch in any category, not production design, or editing, or score. Happy to have Parallel Mothers for score, but it's not as good as French Dispatch. So no Pixar shorts. I don't know any of the shorts, so that's always a bummer when I don't have a dog in that. I don't watch any of the smaller categories, but it's like always nice to have one animated film that everyone saw because everyone saw a Disney movie. Oscar nominee Coming to America.
Wait,
what? I had to say that. Makeup
What?
and hairstyling. Coming to America took Suicide Squad's spot. But Free Guy also got an Oscar nomination for visual effects, which I thought was actually really cool. It didn't deserve it as much as Kong versus Godzilla, but the Oscars hate the Monster series because none of those films have any Oscar nominations for visual effects. Belle wasn't nominated for song or animated feature, and Raya was, I guess, up for. Disney has enough nominations for that.
Yeah, I will boo that.
I'm really hoping that it splits the vote with Encanto, and Mitchell's will pull this out.
Yeah, I mean, I like.
Oh my gosh,
I agree.
Yeah, 3 out of the 5 are Disney movies.
And Flea's not going to win. It's like it's a documentary that's animated the story over. It's not
for anonymity, right?
Yeah. The only other notable thing I have is that the original song category was really funny to watch because these were submitted, I think, in early January, which means Disney had no idea that We Don't Talk About Bruno was going to be their hit song and didn't submit it for nomination and totally lost the Oscar by not doing it.
I've heard that, and I wish I had the article to back this up, but they don't push songs for nominations that are like spoilers for their movies.
Yeah.
That makes some sense. But I think I would also argue that almost 2 months after, or a month and a half after the film's release, and
Yeah.
anybody who's looking at that movie, that it's an interesting call. But
Yeah, there's a banger though.
Plus, it was dropped onto Disney Plus on Christmas Eve, so
yeah,
Was it a Green Knight for anything?
not a single one. No Last Night,
Wow.
no Last Duel, no Green Knight. But I overall thought this was actually a pretty good bunch of nominees. These were the Oscar bunch for sure. But I mean, I think mostly the right films got the right number of nominations. No, not too much Macbeth. 3 nominations for Macbeth. What was interesting is once you get past like the heavy hitters, like Power of the Dog with 12 nominations and Dune with 10 and Belfast and West Side, everything else just kind of divvied them up with 3s and 4s. So it wasn't like not a lot of mid hitters, like lightweight Oscar hitters and the big 4.
mm-hmm.
I don't know who's going to win Best Picture either. That was the last thought I had. I mean, a couple of these are like really easy to tell. Matt, we were going to talk about Will Smith. I think his performance is worthy of an Oscar nomination. It is a very good performance. We've just seen better from him, and so it feels weird to know he's
underwhelming.
Yeah, it's something that I think he could have done in his sleep. I guess his first nomination in 12 years. So I'm happy that he's going to win an Oscar.
Or Andrew Garfield could win.
I hope that's the case, because two of those people in that category are at their career best, and Will Smith's not one of them. So, and yeah, I don't know. I think Belfast is a good shot at Best Picture, but there's a couple like spots you usually have to win to get Best Picture, and original screenplay is one of them. And I think Licorice Pizza might have it beat for original screenplay. So it'll be interesting to see if Power of the Dog can pull it out.
I don't know. Power of the Dog has like one of those things where it's got so many nominations. It's just like
it's probably going to get killed in most of them.
Yeah, it's just going to get swept away, and you're going to be like, "Oh, remember when that movie got 12 nominations and won like 1 award?"
Yeah, I think Dune will probably sweep up most of the technical stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it'll lose a couple. I think Nightmare Alley's got like production design, and I think it deserves it. But I think for the most part, I think Power of the Dog will be. I think Matt. I think you're right. I think it'll lead, and then win like 2 awards. Jane Campion will win Best Director.
Yeah,
he's got that.
I have a feeling that he'll walk away with Benedict Cumberbatch will walk away with an Oscar.
That would also be nice. I think he's also at his career best. Last thing I had, Kenneth Branagh is first person to be nominated in 7 different categories, which I think was awesome, because now he's been nominated for like short film and original screenplay and adapted and supporting actor and producer and all this stuff in all of these different films across his career. So
yeah, and Lin-Manuel Miranda has his shot at getting in his EGOT finally. So probably won't, but
if they had nominated a different song, maybe.
He's tossing and turning at night now, thinking about that. Why?
Okay, so just for best. Go ahead.
Sorry.
What was that?
No, The Harder They Fall. I was hoping for at least original song for The Harder They Fall. That was the other movie I was expecting to see some recognition for.
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay, so just for Best Picture, predictions. Who do you guys think is walking away with Best Picture?
Can you recap real quick who they were?
Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and I forgot West Side Story. So West Side Story.
Did you say Coda too?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
the
2
first
of those.
One, the second one's not out yet.
I mean, by default, my hope is that Dune would win, but I don't know. I think it was too popular that I just have that feeling like it can't win. Like it was so popular that it can't win.
Plus,
I was gonna say I have seen very few of these movies, oddly enough, but like for some reason my brain is literally telling me it's either gonna be Licorice Pizza or I really feel like Coda is like a dark runner for this. Like I really feel like it's a dark horse. So one of those two probably.
Alex, what was your prediction? Dune?
Dune, but it's too popular. I think it's just it's too mainstream to be the choice. So I mean that's my hope, but I don't think so.
The Academy hates sci-fi anyway, so
if they do give it, if they do decide to give it Best Picture, they'll give Part 2 Best Picture. They'll give it a Lord of the Rings run.
Yeah.
So,
which is where he'll also get his Best Director nomination,
that'd be good.
Assuming the movie's good.
It's a lot of work he put into it. So, but I guess everyone did a lot of work. A lot of passionate directors this year.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
What's your prediction, Ryan?
If Belfast can win editing and screenplay and maybe a supporting actor win, then it'll win Best Picture. If it can't win 2 out of 3 of those things, then it won't win Best Picture, and Power of the Dog will win because it has Best Director in the bag. So
I'm going for Coda. I'm with Matt with this. Like, I think this is a dark horse. They snuck it in there for some reason. So, plus I think it's a feel-good story. They need a feel-good.
Mhm.
Well, Belfast is too, but
Nomadland wasn't uplifting enough for you last year. What about Parasite? Come on.
we don't talk about Nomadland.
The Power of the Dog. So uplifting.
I hope for the same reason. That's why I kind of hope. I mean, objectively and I guess in bias, I enjoyed Power of the Dog more, but I still hope Belfast wins. It's very nice and light. I mean, Coda. I think Coda was better. I like Coda better than both of them. I just don't think. I don't think a film that's picked up so few nominations will take it outside of like the 1960s.
Crash.
I'm just historic. Okay, you said Crash, and that was the one. We even talked about Crash this week. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think a lot of people might see it like Crash if it wins. So I kind of hope it doesn't. No, it does.
Right.
Everyone will watch it. That's good. Everyone should watch it.
Should. Well, that's the news. Unless you guys got anything else.
Again, Bruce Willis getting nominated for 8 Razzies. Awesome stuff.
I mean, doesn't he have his like
Here.
own category now though?
Yep, his own
Yes.
category of worst Bruce Willis performance. I don't care about the Razzies. I saw people being like, the Razzies need to stop. And I'm like, take the joke. No one cares about the Razzies. But I just
Didn't
love
Affleck get nominated this year too?
yeah, for last duel, which I think it was probably my least favorite thing in it. I don't think he was Razzie worthy. Oh, nope. I apologize. My favorite thing about the Oscars, and I missed that Lady Gaga wasn't nominated. I'm so happy Jared Leto wasn't nominated for an Oscar. I said to Rachel before the nominations came out, I said, if Jared Leto's nominated and Kristen Stewart's not, I'm not watching this year. And of course I will watch. But
I think everyone realized the ridiculousness of that performance. I think everyone knows. So they're just like, no, we're good.
It wouldn't be very credible for them, even if they all love him. I don't think it'd be very credible for them to say, like, no, what people will. Yeah.
Oscar winner Jared Leto as Michael Morbius. Okay, so you 3 watched a movie, and us 3 watched a movie. Just wanted to give like some thoughts on Nightmare Alley because I know that we were supposed to do this like a month or 2 ago. Just real quickly, so you guys can rant on Moonfall. Because I opted out of that. I was like, no, I'm good. Which, by the way, Roland Emmerich said that Star Wars and Marvel is ruining cinema. Isn't he doing the same thing? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's literally the same thing, right?
At least people are watching those movies.
No.
He got beat by Johnny Knoxville at the box office.
Oh yeah, that was
badly.
That was a recap of
and only beat Spider-Man by like $400,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's so bad. Yeah, because he makes the same movie every time. Every time. All right. Well, so quickly, Nightmare Alley. It's about a carny that gets a little in too deep with some people, and drinking and stuff happens. This is directed by Guillermo del Toro, which I kind of like forgot because it's not as like weird. I would say like his set design, like I mean, I know when you're watching like a Guillermo del Toro movie, it's very like his sets are very elaborate and like creepy looking and stuff like Crimson Peak esque, Ship of Water esque. This was very grounded for Guillermo del Toro. It is, I mean, you only have like 3 or 4 sets really, and there's nothing really kind of outlandish about it. It is a remake of a 1947 film, Same kind of deal. I give this an 8. I mean, all the performance is really good. I don't think this is best picture worthy, but I think that it tells a pretty good story. And I remember, Alex, you said like a month or so ago that I think we were talking that this probably could have shaved about a half hour off. Like this is 2.5 hours. And I was kind of like, yeah, I was just like, okay, like let's move this along. Like there are some points where it just kind of dragged a little bit, and I think that they could have shaved at least 15 to 20 minutes off this movie. So
yeah, I remember that. I mean, it's Ryan and I watched it together. What I think a week before Christmas, a few days before Christmas. I don't know.
I was dying. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ryan was in rare form. I mean, he you could tell was dead. Me, I was a little bit more lively, but I still too was tired. And we watched it, and he still got more enjoyment out of it than I did because I kept looking at my watch and I'm like, oh wait, this is a good place to end this movie. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay, no, this is a good place to end this movie. No, we're gonna still keep going. Okay, yeah, for me personally, I think I'm in the minority. I think most people who watch it get enjoyment out of it, and I don't think it really matters per se of if you watch it in original version being colored or the Visions of Light and Darkness version, which is just noir. It's just black and white. People have said that the black and white version gives it a little bit more like oomph. Like it just feels like it's more suited for that kind of
I can see that
thing. And I'm that makes me want to go back and try and watch it and give it another shot, but I'm not rushing to do that. And I just remember thinking, I don't really care about this person's story, and what you led me down was just not a great payoff for me personally. But it's like you said, Clint, that movie it's over 2.5 hours long, if you include the credits. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. But that's just me. I'm less artsy fartsy.
So, Ryan, did you have any thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, I won't be too long. But yeah, I agree. I again, I was out of it when I saw this movie, and we were trying to go back to see it in black and white, and I was like, I just don't know if we can carve out 2.5 hours to go see it. Talk on 20 minutes of trailers. So I can't wait to actually own this when it comes out, if it comes out with a black and white version of it as well, because I really love the noir style of it. I gave it a 7 when I saw it. I have a strong feeling I'll bump that up after watching it again. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's an 8 because I have nothing but fondness thinking back on this. There were things I didn't necessarily enjoy as much as I could have. And I think you're right. I think part of that is the runtime. The classic film is about 20 minutes shorter, if I'm not mistaken. And that sounds perfect for this movie. Yeah. It's a little indulgent, but it's hard to not enjoy some of the indulgent tendencies it has when you've got incredible production design and costume design and a mature pacing. And it takes a very Scarface approach to the way it does its character arcs. And if you don't like that kind of character arc, it's certainly not a movie that you can morally get behind. But it's kind of watching these people make these decisions and let their ambitions get carried away and follow this dark path. And for that, it's incredibly thrilling. And again, I love the neo-noir style. I'm kind of a sucker for the way this movie looks. It kind of hooks you. If this movie were missing one of these elements, I don't think it would be as good as it was. But it really does fire on all thrusters, and for the most part, ends up being a really great movie. The only real drawback I have is I think there's one moment later on, early in the third act, that's kind of a little bit of a twist, and I don't think it's developed enough, which for a 2.5 hour movie kind of felt weird. We're kind of in the scene, and then we're rushing through the scene, and the scene's over, and I'm like, oh, the consequences for that are done, and we're moving on. I'm not sure how I would do it differently, though. It's just something I felt, and again, I might think totally different watching it again. Because this is one of those movies that ends on like the pitch perfect note, so you kind of can't help but think back on it fondly because of that great feeling you have after. Great feeling is the wrong choice of words. But you get the sense. So I think it's great if you can get to see it, and I think it's back in wide release. They released a couple of these movies like Belfast and Nightmare Alley. So yeah, I think it's great. And I'm bummed it didn't get any acting Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
But it was a busy year.
Yeah, I think that Bradley Cooper probably deserved.
Yeah.
I think that's probably who I would replace like Javier Bardem with.
And also, I just didn't like being the Ricardos. I didn't think it was that good. Pull it out. Pull all of it out.
All right. Because Matt, you
So
didn't
wait.
see this, right?
Yeah, I was about to say. So what you guys are recommending to me is to turn it on HBO and then turn the color down on my TV all the way.
If you want to go full noir or not, again, you could
Yeah.
also just watch this in color and then watch the classic one. Because the classic
Okay.
one, for when it came out, obviously it's much less violent and gritty, but it's still really good. It's arguably better. I haven't watched it since I don't know. I've got to rewatch
It's
both
on-
of these
It's on Criterion, so
now. Okay, yeah.
Well, all right.
yeah.
What
I mean,
about
I would
the-
give it a shot, Matt. I mean, it is. Yeah, if you like noir.
I mean,
country folk
I'm
film.
gonna watch it director alone. I mean, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it.
That was the only thing I think that just took getting used to was knowing it was Del Toro. And this is to Del Toro as Silence is to Scorsese, in the sense that it's a passion project by him that has very few of the things he usually does in it.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
once you realize that it's not a creature feature, that was the big thing for me. As I was like, all right, when are we gonna get into this? We're not. It's different. It's not that kind of.
Yeah.
It's not, even like your Crimson Peak, which is just a Victorian era drama, still has some kind of Del Toro hook to it. And this
Right.
is very straightforward in
Are
that
you-
classic film sense.
Are you telling me he did not sneak a merman in this movie?
I'm telling you, he did not sneak a merman into this movie. Unless,
Dang it.
I'm just kidding. I was trying to think of a good joke to segue in there, but
But I think that like this movie makes the argument for auteurism. It's just like he's saying, like this like doesn't feel like a Del Toro film. Like it does. It's just Hellboy. I mean, Ron Perlman is it, obviously, but other than that, like the set pieces aren't so grandiose. Like they're not weird. Like German expressionism, almost like twisted. Yeah, it's just a straightforward 1940s carny flick, and that's what I thought when they said they like pitched it. I was like, cool, we're gonna see like Del Toro and like Devil's Backbone or something in here. I don't know, but like nothing really, except for the jars. Other than that, like it was just,
yeah, there's definitely a couple weird things in it.
yeah. But anyway, and that's Nightmare Alley. So you guys have the floor to like rag on this movie, apparently.
Should I talk about the plot?
Yeah, whoever wants
Does
to do
anybody
this.
else do one of you guys
I'm
want to pitch
handing
the
the
plot?
baton. Who's got it? Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay, so the moon is out of orbit, and it's up to what's the term for it? I can't remember the John Bradley's title.
Astronaut? Wait, no. Doctor.
Dr. Astronaut.
He studies. He's a megastructurologist.
There we go.
It's up to a megastructurologist, a former astronaut, and the new head of NASA to send up a mission to fix the moon's orbits, while their families on the ground have to deal with being in a disaster movie. I think that's pretty much, without getting into, it gets really weird. So that's the vague structure of it. It's a Roland Emmerich film. He's made disaster movies, arguably the same disaster movie since the beginning of his career. And if you didn't see it, you probably saw Jackass instead.
Well, I was gonna mention before, that was another movie that both Matt and I forgot to mention that we both watched Jackass.
We were
and,
traumatized. That's why we didn't want to bring it up.
yeah, but I don't know about Matt, but I almost would watch that again before I'd watch Moonfall again.
Oh, I definitely would watch Jackass again before I would watch Moonfall again.
I didn't want to just go ahead and just speak, speak for you.
You're not in the minority. Critics like it. It dominated at the box office this weekend.
It's outrageous.
Critics like
But
Jackass.
76% on Metascore.
They love full frontal male nudity.
oh my gosh.
Well,
Those critics.
I think if you look at it this way too, you have, if again, face value. I've never seen anything from this franchise or property, and I don't care. But if you look at the two movies that opened, one of them is a bunch of guys taking a micro budget film and doing what they love on a property that people love and doing things for people that love it. And the other one's a giant, big blockbuster movie that died in the genre, or that it was in a genre that died 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It was like, hey, play to your strengths,
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll go first in the review, or the roast, if we will. Yeah, this. I was talking with an employee earlier today about it, and they were like, "Yeah, how was the movie? I know you watched it the other day," and I said, it's one of those that, like, was this movie bad? Yes, but do I describe it as bad?
Yes.
Yes, but in a way that is like, it's like if a dad knew that his kid had just like done something like morally questionable or something like that, something that he's not supposed to do, and dad's like, you know what, man, I'm not mad at you, I'm just really disappointed at you. And that's kind of what this was. I guess I was the most I had the most anticipation for this movie, and it's like I didn't have high hopes. Let's just say that I didn't have high hopes, but like what little hopes I had is just like, I think I was more or less just swayed by how good looking the poster was, or both posters. I did really like that. I mean, it's just a classic case of, great marketing material, but just crappy movie. And the plot is dumb. It's just like what? It's very boring. I will say visually, this goes along with the poster. It's not like at that moment where there's high action and like, oh man, the moon's moving around and doing crazy stuff. I mean, visually it's all right. I'll say that. It's cool. Like, I didn't hate those moments, but they were far and few in between. And the plot is like, obviously it doesn't make sense because this is all, oh my gosh. And I was gonna kill somebody because I said, I was like, is there like somebody who said, all right, we need to get somebody who says mega structure 50 times in this movie, and then we'll complete like our quota, because I was about to murder whoever the guy is that is from Game of Thrones.
John Bradley.
Yes, thank you. I know you literally just said his name and I totally forgot it.
I'm gonna say it again.
Oh my gosh, it's not personally against him, man. It's just a dumb movie. It's just like, I'm gonna easily forget about it. Like, do I regret watching this? Yes. Yeah, I do. But am I gonna be scarred by it for a while? No. I'm gonna forget about it in like 2 weeks and be like, oh, when somebody says, yeah, did you watch that? I'll be like, oh yeah. Don't. I'm good.
PTSD.
I don't know. It didn't leave me hating. I did not rage out of there. I just was just like, man, what a sad little movie. I'm thinking about it, and I always think back to Malignant whenever I think of anything that I gave a 4. And there's enjoyment, like we always say, of Malignant to be had. I did not enjoy this. There's no fun part. There's no laughing. There's no, I mean, what emotion there is, it's just kind of like bland. So I said a 4 originally. I think I'm gonna go with the 3. Yeah, you don't need to see this movie. It's very, very forgettable. Don't waste your money. Don't go near this movie. Just don't. So 3 out of 10.
Matt, you want to go next, or should I follow that up?
I mean, I don't know who keeps giving Roland Emmerich money. Like, and not just like money. I mean, money. I mean, he must be the best pitch man on the planet. Like, he has these big, over-the-top, grandiose ideas for movies that he finds or he comes up with, and he just goes in there and pitches the hell out of them. And these studios are like, here, man, here's $150 million. Make it work. And he's like, all right, and then proceeds to set it on fire. I mean, literally, looking at his filmography, I'm trying to find, all right, he's done Stargate, which was in 1994, which I don't know what the budget is on that. I'm sure it was okay, and he made it work, and that was okay. I'll give him Independence Day. That has like a good, like, hero villain type of thing going on. Go USA, let's fight the aliens. But then you've got things like and this is my personal opinion, obviously, the day after tomorrow, where we run away from weather, Independence Day 2, which is a piece of crap, 2012, which, you know, we're cash grabbing this date, y'all. John Cusack saving the world. We're also running away from weather. Godzilla, which they're like, all right, man, you did Independence Day. Let's turn Godzilla into not Godzilla and just mess all that up. Wait, White House Down? I mean, I never actually watched that, so I don't really know what to say.
It's funnier than Olympus Has Fallen, but it didn't manage to start a trilogy like that one did for some reason.
Because they can't get the stars for the amount of money. Gerard Butler's infinitely cheaper.
That's very true.
What else do we got on here for Mr. Emmerich? Oh man, everyone's favorite 10,000 BC, which
Oh yeah.
if I remember correctly, also a huge bomb that probably lost $100 million. Who keeps giving this?
That was a prequel to 2012.
Who keeps giving this guy money? I mean, I understand the formula. It's like some big catastrophe is threatening the Earth, whether it's aliens, the moon, weather, and then there's only 4 people on the planet that apparently can save it. Everyone else usually gives up or acts dumb. And these 4 people, you know, they bend logic. Everything goes their way, and somehow we save the day, or at least everything doesn't get destroyed, and that's your movie. The end. That's exactly what happened in Moonfall. I mean, the problem with Moonfall is actually everything's the problem with Moonfall. I mean, the script's bad. I mean, I feel bad for Patrick Wilson. He's playing the same thing he does in every movie, which I enjoy, but still, I feel bad for him. Halle Berry comes across, and this is, I don't know, is this her or is this the script? I feel like I was watching a sci-fi movie whenever she was talking. It was that bland of delivery. Oh my gosh. And the fact that none of this even makes any sense. Like their whole idea of them flying their spaceship to the moon and they can't use electronics, that doesn't make any sense. That's not going to work at all. If you have your little joystick on your little thing, there's electronics involved. I'm sorry, sir. These aren't mechanical spaceships. So that's all I got to say. I gave this a 3 earlier because it has Michael Pena in it. And even though I don't agree with some of his social commentary and choices, he's usually a funny individual and entertaining on screen. But you know what? I can't. I have to drop a deuce on this one, man. This is definitely a 2. And it's lucky. It's actually probably a 1. But I'm going to give it a 2. Just because of special effects, fine, whatever. That's all I got to say.
I should have gone first. Alex, you said it really well, and I'm going to reiterate what you said about this movie. Even if you go into this movie expecting a big dumb disaster movie, I think you will be disappointed. I won't hit on all the points that Matt you just hit on, except for one that I disagree with. I don't like the visual effects. So I mean, like everything in space was fine. I don't know why this movie coming out in 2022 can't make water simulation look good.
True. Very true.
I was like,
I will agree with that.
Particle effect. It's just like really low quality water simulation. Not that it matters, because all the disaster stuff, some of the worst stuff in this disaster movie. Nothing in it was unique. There are too many characters to keep track of in this family of disaster movies. And before going into this movie, I was like, I bet you $5 that Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson were married, and now they're divorced, and one of them has a new husband. No, they both were married. They're both divorced. And then one of them had a new fiance, because every disaster movie is exactly the same, down to having this fiance that we all hate for some reason, even though he's probably a nice guy. And Michael Pena gets nothing to do in this stupid movie. There isn't really much going on for a movie that's 2 hours and 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
It wastes a lot of time in a lot of places. It's silly. Donald Sutherland is wheeled out for one scene, and then he's wheeled away. He has no consequence for the movie. They introduced this massive thing where it's like the government knew about this. Great. Never matters. Let's nuke the moon. Because the military knows how to do one thing in movies, and it's launch nuclear weapons.
Keep in mind, like the military, this is spoiler territory right now. Fine.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, whatever. There's aliens, okay? There's aliens. There's aliens in the movies. Oh my God, it's Roland Emmerich film. There's aliens. So like the military knew that something was at the moon and something was like attacking the spaceship, and they covered it up. And then they had a plan that they were trying to like take out these aliens, or at least they had a device that they were working on. And then they just decided, you know what? We don't need to do that anymore. Let's just stop. What? Shut up. It literally makes no sense. Not at all. Not at all. And the fact that these guys are sitting there like working on a solution to save the day, trying to hop in this ship that they're trying to get to work. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh man, this thing doesn't work. Oh, I guess we should just give up and go home. Why are you giving up and going home? The world's about to blow up. You might as well keep trying to figure something out because you're dead regardless. So dumb.
My favorite part about this was the random crooks who showed up not once, not twice, but 3 times to try to mug this group of their oxygen tanks in the middle of a disaster scenario.
Well, keep in mind that these guys, whoever the son, the daughter, the whatever, they were able to navigate, I guess, all of Colorado, or I don't even know what state they were in a disaster-filled world, to find some place high up on top of the mountain in like 2.5 hours. So it doesn't make any sense, man.
No,
it's not supposed to, but it doesn't make any sense.
I do have a couple nice things to say about this movie.
Oh, there's credits?
I'm going to give an entire point back for John Bradley knowing exactly what movie he's in. 3 types of performances in this movie, and they're all from a high school play. Halle Berry's a senior. She does not want to be there. So she's just trashing the terrible lines she's been given. And I don't blame her, because watching her just deliver, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. She's got like the worst dialogue in the movie. She has like most of the disaster lines, and she just goes right through them head first. And it's really bad. But there's something about the commitment or lack of commitment, the total lack of commitment that she gives to it. And then there's Junior Patrick Wilson, who gives it a good old college try, and he's in it, and he's actually not bad. He's just not that good, because he's being given a very convoluted character arc for a movie where he just has to like fly to the moon and save the day. It's not Interstellar. I'll get back to that. But John Bradley is like this freshman who's really excited to be here, and he knows it's bad, but he's in it to entertain all the parents in the crowd. And he completely makes every single time he says the word megastructurist or megastructure totally work. Every time he said megastructure, I was like, I want to know what a megastructure is, and I want to be a megastructurist. Alex, do you hate me yet?
No.
Oh, tell me about this megastructure thing.
Well, now I hate you, Ryan, just because Matt said it.
But I did enjoy it. His performance was one of the things.
Wait, what was this word? Megastructure?
Megastructurist.
Yeah, I think megastructures are
man.
large structures that are usually mega.
Yep.
Oh man, I think I'm disconnecting to you guys. Oh my gosh.
I think I saw an episode of Power Rangers that had a mega structure in it.
Megastructure Ranger.
I remember there was a music video with Mega the Stallion. That was a mega structure.
Or that video game, Mega Structure Man.
Well, anyway.
Take a second here. Just want to take a second here. Was it this?
Oh, it's a thing.
Wait, it's one word?
Yeah, it's a mega structure.
It's a very large artificial object.
Oh man, it's a TV series too.
This is a TV series.
And it's also a ride coming to Universal Studios.
God, no.
It's true. Anyway,
Okay.
Sorry.
So we got through John Bradley. Definitely the highlight of the movie for me. Everything else, kind of middling. Some of it was just terrible, but this movie knew it was terrible. So I feel like I'm not giving it grace back. I'm just not saying that I wasn't being drug over hot coals during this movie. Here's the thing. The disaster movie stuff was terrible. The sci-fi tried, and I think it thinks it tried really hard, in the sense that I kept watching it and I was like, oh, where is this going? And then I would lean over to Rachel and be like, oh, we set ourselves here. And I'd quote Interstellar. And then the movie would make that come true. And I was like, oh. And I was like, well, hey, at least this isn't like the big shit from Titan AE. and then the movie would make that true. And I don't know if it knows how much stealing it did during.
Oh,
this
it
movie.
definitely does.
Yeah. So I want to give it credit for just going all out sci-fi nuts, and for the fact that they're trying to make megastructures a thing, which to the extent that they're done in this movie, I guess has not really been done in sci-fi. Titan AE doesn't get into it that much because it's for kids, kind of. It's not. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Titan AE. And this is another film that ripped off Titan AE and completely bombed. So apparently, stop stealing from Titan AE. You won't do well at the box office. And I want to give it credit for trying so hard to be a cool, thought-provoking sci-fi film. But it's also still really dumb, and it's stealing all the things that it's using to make itself think it's smart. But I ended up ironically enjoying the whole last act until it kept cutting back to the humans on Earth, and I was like, just die, all of you 10 people in this group. And I was like, let's cut back to them, and then let's cut from them to the guy who wants to nuke the moon. And I'm like, stop saying nuke the moon. I'm trying to enjoy this movie, ironically.
Speaking of which, that guy is probably the worst actor in this whole entire film. Her
which
ex-husband.
Yeah.
Emmy, I don't even know. It's got he's got a long name.
Yeah.
But he kept delivering all his lines like this.
Yeah.
And this is how we've got to nuke the moon.
God,
you need to come
God
back
help
to the
you
base.
if you're wrong. God help us all.
So
The movie can write itself.
I was curious to make sure I wasn't going to offend anybody, just seeing in his rest of his acting work, and his only other big credit was in the Inhumans. So if that says anything.
Ooh.
That says nothing.
I kept looking at the kid who plays Patrick Willis' son. His name is, let me look up, Charlie Plummer. I tried looking up. I'd never heard of him. I haven't seen anything else he's been in. Like, he's only 22 years old, so he hasn't been in much. But I kept thinking, is this Cillian Murphy's son? He looks almost exactly like him. I was just like, did they just freeze you in time? Like, I don't know.
I will say this. I'm glad they gave his son a good character arc of, high speed chasing with the police at the beginning of the movie. So then we know he's a credible driver towards the end.
So they can just 2012 away from the bad guys.
Yeah. Don't lose traction.
In Hurricane Heist 0G.
Oh man, Hurricane Heist.
That movie is so bad it's good.
Yeah,
it's
better
very
movie than
enjoyable. So ultimately I think Moonfall it's a conglomeration of things that you've fed into a computer and spouted out this thing that's occasionally way more entertaining than it has any right to be. But for 2 hours and 12 minutes, it is absolutely not worth seeing. I didn't hate it, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, and I feel like that's a little generous. But you guys didn't sit through The King's Daughter, and that's significantly worse than this.
Oh, God.
I walked into it and laughed, and then left.
Yeah,
I couldn't take Pierce Brosnan. I was like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah. So I think if you go into Moonfall and you just don't care, you might have an okay time. Totally honest. Audiences like it on Rotten Tomatoes. I think there's some dumb enjoyment to be had if you can turn those things off. But you can also watch anything else.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is how Roland Emmerich pitches his films to studios.
Yeah.
So in 3 or 4 years, he's going to get another check for $140 million, where some big over the top high concept thing is going to happen. So everyone, just wait. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Who has time to sit through 2012 and The Day the Earth Stood Still and San Andreas and Interstellar and Titan AE and whatever else they rip off when you can just watch them all in 2 hours and 10 minutes?
And it'll have great marketing. You'll see the poster and you'll be like, oh man, this looks like it's going to be good.
I won't fall for that again.
I think we can pull up a clip from 3 weeks ago where we see Alex saying it was one of his most anticipated movies of 2022.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
to be fair, he is really great at marketing. Yeah. Like the whole Independence Day thing with like blowing up the White House, like the 2012 stuff. I mean, that wrote itself regardless.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Day After Tomorrow or whatever, where it's like, you see New York and it's all undercover with snow. I mean, what can you say? They're good with marketing with those disaster films.
Yeah. No, Alex, I agree. I'm not being hard, of course. There is definitely some hook to this movie, and even watching the movie, I can feel that hook about like, okay, where is this going? It's just when we get there that it's disappointing.
Right. And and I'm not ashamed to say that, like, I was looking forward to this. I think it's just because, I'm a sucker for the space kind of movie and you kept mentioning Interstellar, which is like literally my all-time favorite movie. And so it's just like it struck me in a way that I'm like, okay, I have to see this because it's, it's space, it's moon, the visual or the posters look good. I'm just like, all right, you're it's like you said, the marketing is all right for it, ironically.
Well, yeah. And Clint, if we haven't sold you on this movie already, I have a spoiler for you, is that the movie ends open-ended, man. So, we might get
God.
like a Moonfall sci-fi TV series, or maybe Roland Emmerich will be able to con somebody for some more money in like 3 years, and we can get a follow-up and figure out what really happens.
I think,
yeah. Need to open up the air on that. Open up the window on that idea.
I would just like to say that the budget for this was $146 million.
Matt, you were so close. You're $4 million off.
Dang.
And
if only they had that extra 4 million, we might have got a good movie.
We would have gotten some good water simulation, maybe.
I will say, yeah, and that not only were the effects like the graph, and I said they were good. And I meant that it's like a high concept kind of way, watching stuff blow up. But like, there's one set piece in there where I'm pretty sure they built this huge like hotel set piece where they could rush water in, and I felt like I was watching a movie from the 70s. So it was so bad.
Yeah, I went to Box Office Mojo just to kind of see at least the most up to date. Yeah, it's like 12.5 million is what it's brought back. So obviously that's a bomb.
All right, so we've joked about it. It flopped. It bombed in the U.S. Is this going to make money overseas though, or are the Asian markets going to chew this up?
There is mention of like, oh, it's only this one rocket and the Chinese rocket or something, and that never comes back. So I bet there's like a whole 40 minutes added for international audiences.
Or they just paint the rocket a different color. They put like just the Chinese, it's like a red rocket. We're like, all right.
Says Taiwan is not a country on the bottom.
I don't know if this messed with anybody else. I think I remember saying it in text. I was like, I don't know. I guess it just bugged me more where I was, it's whatever happens at the beginning is 15 years prior, 10 or 15. I can't remember. And, you're obviously in this most current time. And they're talking about, hey, we need a shuttle. All of our shuttles, are in museums. I'm like, shouldn't you have more than just like the one?
No. And keep in mind, this is in the same world of Wonder Woman 84, where the shuttles are also in museums, but they're also ready to fly. So we're good to go.
Yeah, you got to keep them fueled up for these type of emergencies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they have no electronics.
Yeah. I think also.
Let me get this straight. The prelude to this movie takes place 10 years ago.
Yeah, it says 2011 or 2012.
Yeah,
I was wondering it was 2011.
Cinematic universe, don't say it.
Dan.
the what is it? The disaster cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're all also related.
I have an interesting nitpick. I don't like Don't Look Up, but watching that like a month ago and then watching this kind of hurts this a little bit more, where Sean Bradley sends out a message which goes on everybody's alert phone and it says like the moon is out of orbit, and then everyone's just in chaos apocalypse mode. And I'm like, no way. 50% of the world would believe that right away at best.
Don't look up, man.
It's like that funny news article we heard, when somebody it said there was a bomb in the bathroom at a Home Depot. Turns out that somebody was saying I was fixing to blow it up. That's what people
Oh.
would have thought when they read that message if it were in real life.
What if somebody told you there was a mega structure in the bathroom?
Oh my god.
Somebody left a mega structure in there, guys.
Somebody left a Moonfall in there, guys.
Wow.
And on that note,
You guys have anything else on the Moonfall?
no, we got to wrap up. We can talk about this all day. Night.
So now that we've talked about the first 10 minutes, let's go into the next hour and 45.
No, I'm never watching this movie ever. It's like
I feel
Geostorm.
really bad. I will say this. I feel really bad for that one astronaut that dies. And I thought they was going to get a callback at the end when they get to the moon. Because, he lost his best friend at the beginning. And then no, astronaut never shows up. I'm just like, oh, poor guy just floating off in space now.
Homer.
Rip.
All right. Well, I'm gonna close the book on Moonfall. Next week we have two choices. Kimmy, which is an HBO Max film with Steven Soderbergh. Zoe Kravitz, I believe, is in it. I'm actually watched the trailer. I do kind of want to watch this, actually. Or Death on the Nile. I don't want to watch Army Hammer, to be honest with you, but
Is he
I
eating
will.
people?
I hope not.
I don't
So
even
he's
tell.
married
The
to Gal-
marketing's like totally taking him out of as much as they can.
What
I know.
what was that movie we watched? It has several adaptations. We watched it last year.
Okay.
Shoot, with Army Hammer in it. Shoot, what was the name of it? Anyway, just we talk about what we may do, and we'll circle back to it later. I'm gonna look it up.
I will watch.
Why didn't they just go through the movie and just CGI Tig Notaro over his face?
Replace him with Christopher Plummer.
Oh, it was the movie I was trying to. It was apparently 2 years ago. It was Rebecca.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh. Thanks.
You're welcome. I knew Ryan would say that.
I was just forgetting it.
No, I have. I think we're gonna have to have another like independent studies week. There's a lot coming out this week as far as theatricals go. So it's just whatever you do next week or whatever you do this week, just come prepared next week.
I'm gonna
What
do
is coming out?
Oh, like as
Black
far as
White with Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Marry Me with Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez, and we got Death on the Nile.
Yeah.
I got tickets for all three because, yay.
Marry Me,
Yeah.
marry me,
We're gonna
really?
see it on Valentine's Day. So
yeah, I'm gonna be in that same boat.
we
probably.
we have a tradition of watching a bad Valentine's movie every year instead of going to Walmart and buying one of these.
Matt is like so foreign to this concept that like oh man, are women out to drag us to this fruity tooty blah 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 because Jeannie wouldn't be caught dead in one of those.
Well, she likes I don't know, she likes all those Reese Witherspoons like early 2000 ones. But if I was like, she saw the trailer for Marry Me and she was like, "Nah, I'm good."
So she's a sucker for like Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
You brought a baby to a bar. That's all I know. And I saw that from the trailer.
I don't even know that. I don't know the name of it.
Wow.
No, but for real though, Owen Wilson, really? Was Luke not available for this movie?
No. He's busy doing something.
Yeah, he was busy doing his what is it?
Not
Well,
related.
Mighty Orphans tour.
But was Patrick not available for this movie?
No, he was doing Moonfall apparently.
I think he was going on the. Oh yeah, never mind.
He's
Okay.
taking a
could only
shuttle
be
to
in-
the moon.
He could only be in one box office bomb a month.
So rumor has it that like isn't Marry Me coming to like Peacock or
Think so.
Paramount Plus, something along those lines. Okay, but to defend this movie, you take Jennifer Lopez, who's the most dorkiest person that you could probably find after that to mismatch these two. Owen Wilson.
Wow.
I was
Was Pauly
That's
Shore
good.
not available?
Is he still alive?
That's actually a movie, I think, too. Pauly Shore is dead.
Oh,
Oh man.
sorry. Well, I'll be watching Kimmy, and there's another HBO Max flick that they dropped. I showed Alex the trailer. I can't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
what the name of it was. Fallout, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm. I
I
think so.
actually want to see that. So I'll be watching those two.
I will do my best to do that as well. Whatever puts off watching Ice Age 6 or whatever we're on.
7.
Buck Wild.
I've been trying not to catch up on those. I saw it on Disney Plus and I was like, oh great. There's a fifth Ice Age movie, and Rachel was like, that's the sixth one. I didn't know there was a fifth one.
We were like, at this point, who's counting? I, for the longest time, thought that was going to be a TV series, not like a feature-length show.
Same.
That's what I thought. Whatever happened to the Monsters Inc. show? Is that still going?
Mm.
I'm gonna deep dive into my Disney Plus apparently. All right. So free study next week apparently. Because I don't know if I really want to watch Death on the Nile. I watched Murder on the Orient Express, and that was decent enough. So yeah. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
No. All right. Well, this meeting's adjourned then. We'll see you all next week. Bye.